give it a minute or so more, just a few more seconds, just to make sure I'm not leaving anyone behind. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna get started. Hello everyone. Thank you for coming to our monthly Q&A. So my name is Jensine. I am the support and implementation manager. You can find me at jensine@greenrope.com. A lot of you probably have seen my name or have seen my face around. Usually pretty in the weeds with support, so I'm sure a lot of you recognize me. So today I'm just going to be going over some updates that we've had in the system and also opening it up for you guys in your questions. To go over some of the updates. So we have 3 main updates that happened over the last month. The first one is a survey filter. So we have added the ability to filter based on survey responses in the contact field or in the contact page. So what that means is if you're in your system, this is just my account, and you go to your contacts page, this left side, which is used for the filtering, you can now select from this dropdown the survey option, and you can choose if they have completed it or if they haven't completed it, and then you can choose what survey you want to look at. So for my account, I only have the 3rd survey over here, and I want to see everyone in my account who has completed it. So no one has completed it. So if I go over here, that will mean that all of my contacts will show up because they all have not completed the survey. So that's just a feature that we recently added to kind of help make things a bit easier for users when wanting to review the filter or the surveys answers. All right. So yeah, that's the first big update that we did. The next one is we actually added a custom dashboard widget. So this one, if you go over here to your account and you go to your dashboard, you can just click on home. You can set it up so that you can look at the user fields in your account and then also see how many shared access users have data in it. So if you go down here to customize dashboard and scroll down to the bottom, you're given an option to add a special widget. We actually recently added this, and we have a lot of different special widgets that you can use. So just keep that in mind. The one that we are talking about here is shared access user custom fields. So you want to select your widget type, and then you can select the custom fields that you're looking for. So there it is. So we'll go ahead and add this. Actually, let me not use that. These are kind of nonsensical user fields, so apologies, but just know that you can use user fields, any user field. So I'm going to go ahead and add this widget. The dashboard saves, and then as you can see, you have this widget that's been added here. So I have 2 shared access users. If I click on this button here, it will show you the name, the email, and then the user fields that you selected, as well as what value those are. So for my shared access users, it's my Gmail and my Outlook email. And then for these specific contacts, I have account option 4 chosen and account option 1. These are the different. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory from there, but now there's a way if you want to just quickly look at some data that your shared access users have, you have a widget that can do that. Let's see. So the next setting or the next update is the group logo setting. So we've just added to this. It already was a functionality before, but we just made some updates to improve it a bit. So whenever you're in your account, you would find this in the group settings. So you can either get to the group settings by clicking on this cogwheel, or you can go to it by hovering over settings and going to group. So I went ahead and added a logo here just to kind of demonstrate it. So right now I don't have it set to replace the UI, but you can do that. So currently I just have this standard green rope icon as my home button, I guess. If I wanted to replace the group logo with it, I would just click that. And then as you can see, the logo gets changed to the smiley face. You also have the option to remove a logo, but that is not new. That's always been there, but I guess it's another option that you have. So this will make it so there's an account level. Let me see. Oops. There's an account level logo that you can set up here. So this would be for all of your accounts. It's what it defaults to. With this group setting, this is saying if you're in this group specifically, if you're in the webinar group, it will change to this logo. If I switch to another group, it should go back to the green rope one, since this group does not have a logo specifically set to it. I could have this one set to it, but I don't. So yeah, so that is the last option, or the last update is the group logo settings. So yeah, there's just a different option for you if you want to customize your user experience throughout the system. All right, so any questions or comments? Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and move on to the next part. So we had one question. There was another question answered, but I unfortunately did not get a chance to add it to the presentation. So we will cover that next month. But one of the questions that we did get is by Michael Johnson, who asked, is there a way to run a report that can visually show you where each of your prospects' clients are within the workflow cycle? Visual reports in general, daily activity reports, new customer reports, if you move an individual from one contact to a new contact. Is there a way to keep all that data that you have inputted over the years to stay with the original contact instead of moving with the individual? Thank you. So this is kind of a tiered question. So I will first go over the reporting question, and then I will go over this second part. So for the reporting question, yes, we have a lot of different kinds of reports that you can run. And we have a lot of visual aids for the reporting as well. So I'm going to go into my account. Let me just go to my webinar group. So for I guess the first part, to know where a prospect is within a cycle, I believe what they're referring to is like an opportunity cycle or like a pipeline. If that is the case, then there's a few different ways that you can get a visual report of it. So I guess let's go to a simpler one. A simpler report that you can pull is going to be in the contacts page under the opportunities tabs. I currently, unfortunately, do not have any opportunities to show you, but I do have a closed one. So let me just move that over. So here, the opportunity Kanban report is really, it's a visual aid for where people are in your pipeline. You can filter the report, you can export it, you can take a screenshot of it if you want, and then you can also modify where people are. So if you want to move people from one phase to the next, you can do that. Yeah, so this is one way where you can get that visual report for where people are in your pipeline. The other option is going to be under contacts report. If you go to the opportunities tab, this is where you can pull pretty much anything you need to know about opportunities or pipeline. This is where you would pull that information. You can filter it, and you can look up these different charts if you want to like pull out different kind of data, like what sources are the most popular or least popular, et cetera, et cetera. You can export all of this information into a CSV. So if you just want to look at the numbers, just want to look at the plain data, you can do that. But if you wanted to download the visual aid of it. So let's say you wanted to just download this graph and put it on a presentation. You can do that by clicking on the hamburger icon or these three lines and clicking download PNG. And so once you download that, it will download this image it's a really nice format. So it's easy enough just to plug and play in any report or presentation that you need. So if you notice any kind of graph like this, anything that we use these graphs all over the system. But if you ever notice a graph like this and you see the three icons, just know that you have those different options for if you want to export the data or if you just want to download the way the graph itself, you can do that. So that's, I guess, one way. That's the report or the opportunity reports. Something else that I do want to show is the custom reports. So they mentioned about having a visual aid for reporting. This is going to be probably where most of the visual aid reporting will come from. Let me see if I can. Does not contain, or let's see. Okay, we'll just do that. So these custom reports, you can choose to filter it however you want. And once you filter it, let me see. You can choose to have these different kinds of reports. You know what? Let's do none here. And then let's do account. Yeah, let's do account type. Okay. So here I am filtering all of my contact list, or I guess let me do that. All of my contact list to see who has what data in this user field. So in my user field account type, I have different options that they can check. And this report will show me I guess the number of people that have these options checked. So this is an easy, quick way of, I guess, pulling or grabbing the data, getting that nice visual aid that you can then present to other people or present to your team, however you want. So I pulled up this report. I can go over here because I have the hamburger icon, and I can download the PNG or I can download the CSV. That just gives you the raw data. So it will say developing and uploading games. There are 3 contacts. There's 3 for that field. So yeah, I would say those are probably going to be the best in terms of pulling visual aids or like any kind of visual reporting for your clients or for contacts. If there's more specific questions, or if I didn't quite answer what is needed here, I can definitely, I guess, reach out to support with more information on what is needed or like what the specific reports, and we can look into that for you. For the second part of this, I might be misunderstanding what the question is, but it sounds like Michael's wanting to create new contacts for old contacts that already existed, but put them in a new contact record. Or they're trying to not replace, they're trying not to overwrite the data, but just append. Again, I might be misunderstanding this question, so hopefully that is not the case. But if it's for overwriting, okay, thank you, Steve, for Steve put yes, and shift the data to the new contact without losing it. So you can merge a contact. There is the option to merge 2 contacts, but I don't think there's a foolproof way of not overwriting some data. Yeah, so what I would recommend is, let me see if I can do this. Email contains Jensine. Okay, so Okay. Okay. So Steve, we might be on the same page with this. So I'm gonna sorry, Steve wrote in the Q&A, he wants to shift the data to the new contact without losing it and slash or having to re-enter the data collected over the years. He's run into this issue. So I would recommend, if you're merging contacts, and let's say the contacts have a short text user field. So let's say outstanding receivables, right? I have it 1,000 or whatever that is. I have a big number there. And then that's in my Gmail record. And then in my Outlook record, I have this number. So if I merged my Gmail address into Outlook, so that means Outlook would be the primary contact, that would be the one that is kept. That means that the number that is in the Gmail one, this 100,000 or whatever it is, this will be overwritten by whatever's in my Outlook contact record. There is a way that you can append data, but I think in terms of like these short text fields, there's no way of merging the contacts through the UI and then having those append to each other. The only other way that I can think of maybe doing this, and this wouldn't be creating a new contact record, this would be importing an updated list. Oh, okay. Sorry. Steve just clarified. I'm thinking more of the history of activities in the CRM section. Those should be carried over. Whenever you merge two contacts, the CRM activity should be carried over. Oh, let me just mark these off. So if that is not happening, I think I will need more info. Yeah, so whenever you do merge two contacts, anything in the CRM activity page or in that tab over here, including documents, quotes, everything, that should all be carried over. So if that is not happening, can you email support and just send us send us some more information on that, just to make sure that we're able to look into it. What if you want activities to stay with the first company? So Eric said, what if you want the activities to stay with the first company? So if you want the records to stay with the first company that they were assigned to and not the new one that the new contact record has, whenever you merge, so this should also happen too. I might have an example. No, I think I don't. So whenever you merge a contact, the activity, let me just double check on this. The activity should show up about saying, okay, these aren't good examples. So it should have a note that this activity was completed while this contact was in X company. So it should have a note, like it should stay with that company record. Even like if I go in and I change my contact record to a new company, if I don't know where my company field is, I move things around, but oh no, here it is. So if I change my company record to, let's say I change this to Google, it should update the CRM activities so that it shows that the CRM activities, yeah. So it says done while contact was with Green Rope is currently with Google. So those should then also be attached to the company, the Green Rope company, not the new one. So, oh, okay, yeah, it looks like all those answered. Hopefully I answered that question. If not, either put something in chat or send something to support at Green Rope and we can look into it. But I believe those things should be happening. So if they're not happening, send us more info so we can kind of look into it. So Tom asked, is it possible to import our knowledge base / user guides? So we actually did just have an update with this where you can customize your help section. In terms of like importing the knowledge base, I would recommend maybe using the asset library. So let's see. Is it possible to import? I would recommend if you have any guides or anything like that, what you can do is you can import them into your media library. So just select the folder and then import those documents. And then from there, you can create an asset library that you would then add all of your documents to. And then you can send that URL to people so that they just have one place to get all of that, all of the cheat sheets or guides that you need to use. And then for this next question, is it possible to search by other fields, in particular user fields? So if you are referring to contacts, like searching through contacts, yes. So when you're in the contact screen, if you just click on this, any of the following, and click on this drop down, it will show you here you have the system standard fields, here are special fields, and then down here is going to be your contact user fields. So these are all your custom user fields that you set up in your account. So if you want to filter or search or do anything like that, you would just do it here. I'm probably not going to have anything come up with that, but yeah. All right. And I guess one thing to note on this is that if in the group, if your contacts don't have any data in it and it's not in your visibility template, it won't show up here. So if you know you have a user field, but you're not seeing it here, that's more than likely the reason why. But yeah. If I guess anyone has any questions or has anything else they want to that I didn't cover, feel free to reach out to support at greenrope.com. And I think that's it. I think that is it for my Q&A. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending.